Hello everybody and welcome to Complexity taking on Heretics. We are here on map number 1, Heretics map choice of Nuke, after on the back of their 16-6 win over ENCE a couple days back. Now we look at their T side as they look to very quickly push down towards the ramp, already forcing Oboe down and taking him out. Blitzing in towards the B side with Config defending on the USP. And we'll see Complexity most likely going for a retake, I was going to say, but they dropped the bomb. And now there's the possibility to just hold that down.
Yeah, what a huge find to massively delay any sort of attempt on the plant here for Heretics, giving everyone on Complexity time to set themselves up now in position. They probably will still have to concede the bomb plant, and indeed it is going to go down. The double doors are being covered, and Kiyoshima having closed that single door gives them the room to put it in place, and Navera and Lucky coming through with some frags now have gone ahead and actually pulled this in favor of Heretics. Rush still trying to fight back. Unfortunately, though, his teammate haven't been dinked down. He is now the main man that has to go ahead and try and carry them over the finish line here on this pistol, but it's not going to be allowed. XMS goes ahead and spins around to find the final headshot. And Heretics, they get themselves the opening pistol here. This is their map choice. Obviously, Mirage then coming up next, and they've needed Dust 2 as the decider. With the way the veto's gone down, I would slightly favor Complexity, but how Heretics have been playing lately in general, I'm not going to count them out. Obviously, picking up victories against the likes of ENCE and also Dignitas.
Now, this has actually played out very poorly for Heretics in the veto. Picking Nuke gives them a little bit of an advantage, but you got to remember, Complexity, taking down Vitality, Astralis most recently. I mean, they are dominant on this map. Then you look at, maybe not dominant, like overall, Heretics look better on Nuke. Let's not lie about that. But in reality, Complexity aren't upset to end up here. They're not clueless. Then you look at, oh, that timing was almost terrible for Lucky. Then you look at the next map, Mirage. Complexity pick it every chance they get. Unless someone is a god on Mirage or trash on another map, Complexity will pick it. They're incredibly good there as well. And then we move to Dust 2. Suits their style perfectly. Overall, Heretics are ahead by a bit on Nuke and behind on every other map in this series. And that's a very concerning way to play out the veto. Options to pick into Inferno were there, which I guess plays out as a mid-ground with how things recently panned out for Heretics, or for Complexity, excuse me. The game up against Vitality, they got trashed on, but they know that they're fairly comfortable in general. They don't get destroyed on Inferno every day of the week, and then obviously it's been Heretics' main first pick for the last, well, since this roster came together. But they haven't played it in quite the same fashion that they normally did. Although they beat ENCE pretty badly the other day, it's not... There were a lot of mistakes when we saw them against Dignitas, for example.
Yeah, definitely. And as you said, I mean, Nuke is the mapper that you would be saying, okay, this is where they need to pick up the victory. So them getting off to a good start like this is a strong sign, at least. Right now, up against this full eco, we've seen just a nade being bought up, one P250 being upgraded, and just stacking over towards the ramp area. I like the idea. Oh, damn. Well, I don't know if you were watching that from Kiyoshima's perspective, but that was just horrible. He couldn't do anything. So many dinks through the smoke at the exact same time. He was pretty much stuck in position. Nice little nade stack to pull one kill back, but in return, a bit of damage at least being done to Maka. If they can get one more kill here, that wouldn't be too bad. Finding that SMG that was dropped outside, so if they could maybe find some frags with that as well, it would definitely help out the buy in the next round.
Oh, that's a nice kill by Poison. That's the round already a massive positive. 2 kills, an SMG frag for Poison as well. He's on 3,400. No worries to get an AWP out and fly around. They lose another up top. Oh, Rush, yes, he got the AK through as well. I mean, that's fantastic. Complexity couldn't have hoped for a better round, really. Like, when you come into those kind, yeah, you might win 1 out of 10 or something like that, but as a nice average line, if you can pull off 3 kills, save an AK, and get an SMG frag, I mean, that's way more than you should be allowed to do.
Yeah, I believe they only had $600 investment with the 1 nade and the 1 P250, so that is massive, as you said. Really the best thing that they could have hoped for. And now coming into the opening gun round, having a bit of an advantage in terms of the weapons, but Team Heretics obviously realizing dash straight out towards A with the Mac-10. The team kill actually comes in from Lucky, but the trades are still going in favor of Heretics right now. Poison in towards Heaven. Not really looking to get too aggressive for the moment, realize that there likely is someone posted up. A 3-on-3, not a bad position to be in, especially as the Molotov now should give them room to get that bomb planted safely. giving them a bit of time to retrieve it and put it down. So a 3-on-3, yeah, as I said, not horrible. Another smoke just replenished towards A main. They have one more as well to try and hold off even further. A Molotov again going in towards Heaven. So they are really slowing down the attempt at this retake from Complexity. And without a defuse kit currently in their possession, this is looking like they may just have to consider a save.
And Poison just pulling away with that AWP towards the CT spawn. Will he get out? He's got a challenge on his hands. Only makes it behind the box. They can punch him from here. The shots missed, guarantee it. Not like Poison to be missing those. And Heretics off to a fantastic start with 4 under their belt. Not afraid to put in a very heavy pressure as well onto their opponents. This is a very surprising start for them, in all honesty. I mean, Complexity, you know that they're a decent Nuke team. They play it about as much. They've, as I said, taken down Astralis. They've got North under their belt as well. Big MIBR. The only teams they've lost to were Furia, who are insane on Nuke, in a very, very tight 16-14. And Na'Vi, 16-12. Staggeringly good map for them.
Yeah, but not a strong start from Complexity now. It's a scout, some pistols. I mean, there's a chance for sure. Okay, Config actually finding himself an open, and not quite catching that from my perspective. Was that through the smoke?
Didn't see it either.
I do believe so. The smoke's only going away now, so it must have already been in place. So yeah, I'm imagining he just spammed away there, managed to get himself an opening headshot. A really big find considering the limited weaponry they're working with right now, and it is only a half investment. So if they could manage to actually win out this round right now, retrieve some weapons, it'd be a great way to really kick things off with actually picking up a round on the CT side, and also give them a nice little boost in money. But obviously, with the AKs and with the op still in the hands of Maka, Team Heretics definitely still somewhat favored here, having all that utility as well to play with.
.40 seconds left. Heretics are leaving this one a little bit late as they push through, not wanting to get done out by the Deagles, but oh no, look at this positioning from Rush. He gets Maka. He's up behind us. Oh no, he's another swinging to Kiyashima. Not good for that. But so much damage done. A 2v2. This is fantastic for the buy Complexity have. And out the out the door, Obo went, almost getting the frag, but they just about survive. XMS saving the day. And Flame-F in a 1v2. Deagle in hand, armor, but nothing else. Not even a kit. The time is not his friend right now. You see that bomb ticking away up the top. They'll suspect him to come from heaven at this point. They'll be cautious of it. XMS has no other angle to look at. He's been spotted and taken out just as quickly. Great round for XMS. And a 5th on the board for Heretics. This is a great T side already.
Yeah, an amazing starter. I mean, it's not how they'd want to end the half, obviously, but even if it was to begin to kind of go over towards the favor of Complexity, if Heretics even grind out another couple rounds, they've at least confirmed their strong half. Obviously, if they can keep this up, they could be looking at a lot more potentially. But we do see Complexity now coming back onto the buy. A few kills being found in that previous round, again, keeping the damage on. Hasn't put the economy of Heretics into a spot where they would be struggling to buy, though, in the next round. So it's still going to have to be Complexity really taking it up a level right now. And I like the idea that they'd stack towards outside once those smokes went down. Unfortunately, it was just Keo. And even then, he wasn't standing up close enough. Most of the focus right now being over towards Lobby. I guess just trying to bait out as much utility as they can early in this round. And they've been quite successful with it. In terms of smokes, there's only 2 remaining, and then the 1 Molotov as well for Flame-F. Considering how early we are still in the round, that is not a lot to work with. We've also seen the rotation being forced down because they aren't quite sure if someone could have crossed over to Secret. But let's see. 1 minute and 5 seconds with still yet really any damage to be done apart from that small bit from the nade. Another little tiny bit there on towards XMS, not substantial though. I mean, haven't not really gotten themselves any control. Heretics at this point don't have a lot of options. It's out towards A or it's in towards ramp, and they definitely are favouring towards that A bomb site. I do believe having a player up on top of the roof right now, preparing for them to go forward. And indeed that is Maka just destroying those windows. I believe setting up now a heaven smoke. Indeed. Molotov towards the top of the hut, so let's see how effective this is going to be. I believe it is the op that'll actually be the first point of contact here. It is indeed. Poison in behind the bomb site. They're actually going to move over towards ramp now with it, but the time is a bit of an issue, especially as Obo is still holding up close, gets a double for himself, and also does considerable damage to make it that much easier for Blame F as he gets a double of his own. And Mac is done. 15 seconds. There's nothing he can actually even do about this. He's not even going to attempt to backs away to save the op. And there it is, Complexity getting their first round on the CT side and doing so convincingly with 4 alive. That's something that you do need to see. Otherwise, they would have been limited in the buy in the next round. So plenty of money, obviously, for the reinvestment into the nades and the weapon that Obo needs.
Well, Complexity had to get on the board eventually, Dean. It's good to see that they're answering it on their buy rounds, but still, with the losses they've obtained across the rounds, their money isn't great, is it? Heretics could easily put them down to another eco just by winning this one here. Or maybe not an eco necessarily, but a bit of a mix ball anyways. Very fast push out of A. This is ambitious. They're already down the vent looking for B. Okay.
Yeah, this is a big issue. Obo does throw in a Molotov, actually direct impact against Kiyoshima, and is now taking him down quite heavily alongside that nade. So at least some damage being found to slightly contest the bomb plant. Obviously won't be able to stop it, but it gives them a bit of a better position now with the health definitely in their favor. And XMS also towards outside being dinked down. It's going to be tough for these Heretics players to actually get in and help out right now. You see Complexity immediately setting up, realizing that they do have some players still isolated outside. And they just want to try and move in on ramp before they can really get themselves into positions that are strong. Lucky up close is going to have to come up massive right now. And he has already actually got himself a quick frag. It was the help of Kiyoshima also. But the flank, it's only good enough for one. Blame F from behind, but the time is working against them. They need to stick it immediately, and even then, they don't have time anymore. Maka gets both kills. I doubt he survives, unfortunately. Oh, he does. Okay, just about the time managing to allow him to bring that weapon over. Team Heretics, though, they bring back immediately return, and as you said, put Complexity in a spot where they don't have enough for a full buy on everyone, but they likely will go for it. Pause at the moment.
I don't know, like, for Complexity...
That was the first.
Yeah, exactly. It makes a lot of sense to call the pause now, but it would have made a lot of sense to call it even coming into that previous one. Figuring out exactly how Heretics have pressured them in towards that A site earlier on. You kind of want to make sure that when you've got the cash to spend, you're investing into your Molotovs and placing them in the right positions. I mean, we saw nothing towards the door to stop Heretics from blitzing straight out. They got into vent. No molly down vent. No nade for the doors. No molly on top of it. This is a big problem. Blame F reacts. Oh, no. He was blind for so long. The spray... It was perfect for a player standing up, but Kiyoshima, he was essentially prone, crouched under all the bullets. But eventually they traded, at least taking Navarro down, Kiyoshima's 4 HP. It's not the worst trade in the world.
Yeah, I think the CTs are feeling relatively happy about it. The only issue being obviously that they've now lost the control down towards this B side of the map. It's really not a good spot to be in. They've got that lobby aggression coming through so that they can rotate in quickly and join up with their teammates in ramp. But I don't think they can do anything about stopping that bomb plant now that utility and such has been put down. And once the bomb is planted, the time obviously at that point going to be heavily working against Complexity without a defuse kit, and could even maybe force them to consider saving. So they need a kill real quick to give them that opening. And indeed, actually just going to charge in. Poison picks up the first frag. Lucky up close below, similar to his spot in the previous round. This time only good for 1 kill though. So again, it's going to be Maka who has to come up huge. As you said, Kiyoshima already tagged up, but the op is still fragging. The health on both players being low, but Poison's not able to connect. That's when you expect him to hit 10 out of 10 times. He won't miss on towards Kiyoshima at least, but having tapped the bomb, he realizes now that it is a little bit too low for him to be able to both find that kill and get the defuse, so he does begin to back away, conceding the round so he can at least salvage the op. But that's 7 for Heretics.
Despite such a huge play by Poison. And 7-1 as a lead can happen on Nuke. It's acceptable. You can come back from it. But usually that's what we say when it's on the CT side. When the terrorists are up this much, they can go AFK for the rest of the half and still be happy with where they've ended. I mean, the reality is that Heretics hitting double digits is not out of the question. And we've seen them recently, obviously, performing very, very well when it comes to Nuke. You look at the last game that they played up against ENCE, they 16-5'd. The Dignitas one wasn't very convincing, but that series in general was very messy from Heretics. A lot of mistakes were made, especially on Inferno, a map they've forever been so comfortable on. But this is a brand new Heretics. We haven't seen this level of performance when it comes to consistent Nuke T-sides for quite a while. And we are still only talking about realistically 2 to 3 full buy rounds played out properly, but there's certainly a lot of hope with how convincing they've been pulling them off, with the exception of the previous.
Yeah, I mean, the only real positives you can look at for Complexity is that economy right now, but their own one being so shaky certainly doesn't help out, and this is the opportunity for Heretics to actually make it a little bit cleaner and get that economy rolling. The op right now, Poison ensured that that's not going to be possible, and had nearly given them a fighting chance. Not accurate on the ladder, unfortunately, there, Blame F. I like that he gave it a go. He's a go-getter. But that was a risky play. Getting up the ladder probably wouldn't have worked either because there was another player watching us, so he didn't really have any other options, so it was all down to kind of hoping to get a little bit lucky. But, I mean, 2 kills isn't too bad. They didn't have a lot invested into that round, and now they have the full buyout again. But they need to get going. They need to pull it back to 7 rounds, ideally, to even feel relatively comfortable, to feel relatively happy with what they've been able to do here on the CT side of Nuke. And even then, obviously, as you said, 8 rounds already for Heretics. They're going to be feeling really good swapping to their CT side, no matter what happens from now on.
Even if they get shut out, yeah, who cares? You know, 8-7, you're winning your T side on Nuke. I'll take that any day of the week. Not only that, but they're obviously, that's the worst case scenario. And Complexity, gotta be feeling flat. It also sets a really great tone for the series if Heretics do take this map convincingly. The situation for Complexity moving in, I mean, who are these Heretics guys? They're nearly double, obviously Complexity know them, but what I'm making is they're nearly double the distance away from each other in the rankings. Complexity 23, Heretics 43, if I'm correctly. Somewhere around that.
I'm not sure exactly, but I believe you're in the correct area. I will double check for you. Heretics are 30 right now, and actually Complexity are 20.
Oh, of course, I saw the tweet from Kiyashima. They've just made it into the top 30. Well, 3 days ago, they were something like 40, 41, 42. But at the moment...
Cast their outdated info.
Living in last week. But Heretics shouldn't be dominating them anywhere near this fashion. And yet this is what convincing from Complexity as they come through with very nice openings. Nivera, the star player for Heretics over the last couple of weeks. Nicely done onto Poison, but he's got a little bit more to do. Maybe not. XMS comes behind, catches one. They've spotted a player towards Vents as well. Blame F doesn't fall back all the way, though. Ready to catch it.
Lol.
That's a bounce and a half, isn't it?
That was a sick molly, man. 1v2, I mean, this is still winnable. Has a smoke himself. Didn't quite cover off that angle, but will use it to extinguish the molly and then cross over to the hood. I don't know if they're aware of this. He wasn't being particularly quiet, but with all the nades going down, it is potentially something that could catch them off guard, but they're at least being cautious. Now knowing that he's not on the bomb site itself, obviously they have a good idea that he can only really be around Hut or maybe having to go towards the door, and indeed, tapping the bomb, Obo swings in, finds the head of XMS, and there it is, a second round on the board for Complexity, but they need a lot more. Ideally, they don't want to be dropping another single round here. And again, with it not being clean, they aren't really given the chance to build up any opportunities to, any money rather, to ensure that they have the full investment here in this round, which is even going to be a bit limited. Sure, they can drop the weapons, but players who drop them won't get quite the full amount of nades. Oh no, they should be alright, so it's not going to be the worst investment. Poison even has the op in play. It's more about now if they were to lose this one, then again would be looking at another eco.
Complexity at the moment. Look again. We've got a very late molly landing in towards the door. Does nothing. they're able to just waltz on through.
What's up with that? Is the first player not thrown the Molotov?
So, by the looks of things, I think what might have happened there is that the molly was down, like, in the door. I think they might have thrown it. The door might have been blown open. There's actually scorch marks outside the door. So, my presumption is Complexity for a deep molly, Heretics smoke it and just run down. And they're not ready for it. But this is the second time they've done it, at least on a full buy round. You've got to be conscious of that. Good returns here by Complexity. Obo does really well. He secured the B bomb site. And with that, Heretics might think twice before going down there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it has made them reconsider where they want to end the round. Having 2 MAC-10s, I mean, they ideally do want to keep it close ranged once they do move forward. And it could be an option for them if they wanted to split up through the vent right now. Have the MAC-10 lead the way alongside Lucky coming out door. But for now, it's just the one-man probing around this area. Actually going to drop down the vent as soon as he can. So definitely going to be looking to finish it off on this B-bomb site. And right now, Obo pinned in towards that back corner. He needs to ideally get 2 kills here. One to at least confirm his teammates will have a bit of an advantage on the retake. If he goes down without anything, though, then that is real trouble. Fortunately, without a smoke to actually cross... Oh, they did have a smoke. They had just already tossed it before I looked. But there's a tiny gap, so that could have been risky. Yeah, deciding not to go across, realizing there was a bit of a gap. Kiyoshima just takes the safer approach to planting in the smoke.
But not the safer approach to the post plants. As
Made the
Poison
same
takes it
mistake.
down. Absolutely. Oh, Lucky. There we go. He's got himself the kill. And another. It's a MAC-10. He's destroying them. Mac is now the final player alive. He's got an AK in hand. Looks for config and gets him. Absolutely spectacular performance by Heretics so far. 9 rounds on the board. And where do you go from here? Complexity. They're being shut out. They just beat what was, in very recent memory, the best team in the world, and certainly on Nuke as well. When you're coming up against Astralis, you got to be fairly, and you're beating them. Sorry, you got to be fairly happy with this map, and yet, no.
I don't know, man. I think we're mystical because we both accidentally said a poach, and then Heretics just poached away that round.
We're cheating.
We just know. We're reading the script. What? No. This round, I'm not expecting a lot. There is a chance. I mean, towards outside there, Blame F was playing up around the smoke. I believe now falling back a little bit more passively. But we do still see the actual initial success being found by Complexity. It's the Mag-7 there for Config. Not going to retrieve the weapon straight up, but may be able to soon. You see Rush pushing through to see if he can get it, and will indeed be able to do so unscathed. So 4 on 5 for Heretics to recover. One of the better spots Complexity have had early in a round. Unfortunately, just not really having all the weapons to support it. Hello? I should just about have it. Yeah. Thank the Lord. Sweet Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. But yeah, Blame F and Obo now have a very difficult retake. They almost had the round just by sitting back. But no, they have to move forward without a fuse kit, without any nades, and also with that smoke down now actually holding off one player. It's going to be tough. You really need Blame F coming in through Hut to maybe catch one off guard so they can push in quickly. And maybe he can. I mean, Kiyoshima right now, yeah, indeed, in the open, tries to transfer that spray across. Not quite going to work out. And now it's Maka who's in towards that vent. Finds the first kill, pinned in the corner, though. The Deagle looking to trade it out. Won't be successful. And Maka again going to be able to clutch it out. These rounds have been way too close for Heretics, but at this point, that doesn't matter because they're already leading 10-2.
Well, Dean, turns out, all right, fun story. My mic was muted there for a sec.
Are you serious, Mitch?
It was only for like 20 seconds.
Oh, yeah, I see the chat saying Caster's mute.
Thank you, chat. I was. Appreciate you. Yeah, I was very worried. What was Maka doing there? Like, he stands looking at the floor, inching forward, taps the bomb, let's go. And the thing was, Kiyashima wasn't in a position where he could trade if he was peeked out from main. That could have been the end of times. But luckily, he got it down in the end. Double digits for Heretics. And man, I mean, where are Complexity right now? They've got so much to do. 10 to 2, 8 rounds between
If they're not
them.
showing up here, I at least hope they're waiting on Mirage.
Look, the reality is Complexity, they're so damn comfortable when it comes to individual duels. Mirage is incredible for them. Their mid control is something I think is going to be a big struggle for Heretics looking at the games between them. But at the end of the day, if you're going into that very puggy-based map, and indeed very pug-based final 2 maps, and all you've got... I want to talk about what happened in config real quick. He got hit by the Molotov that wasn't even on the roof. It was on the box. He walked back. They heard the tick. They knew he was there. That's so unfortunate for config. I don't know what much she could have done about that rush. Oh my god, the drop down. That was beautiful. And now on site, Nivera quickly deletes the final 2. Believe that bomb plan. Oh, what? That did not miss. Aka gets justice eventually.
Yeah, that one definitely didn't. Oh, Obodo left alone, 1 on 3. I mean, at this point, you kind of say yes to save, but really you don't want to be saving when you're about to concede an 11th T round over to your opponent. But it really is the only option for him right now so that he can maybe afford to scrape together a buy. I think more likely that we're going to see the half investment and Complexity maybe playing to try and actually just salvage a 3rd round here on their CT side. This is the choice of Heretics, to be fair. I do expect Complexity to fare a lot better once we move on to Mirage, but not if they continue to play like this. Oh, hang on, Obo. There's a second player, so he's not going to get the off quite yet, but if he gets the second kill, then he can pick it up. There we go. Nice little... Oh, did he drop it again? Oh, he got it in time.
Well, at least picking forward an op. It's one of the very few positives that have been in play for Call at the moment. Up over to Poison, who's performing decently for the team, but looking over towards Heretics, man. Maka, what is this guy doing? 17 for 5. I'll have what he's having. A hell of a game.
If I remember correctly, he played insane versus Ents as well when they got 2-0. I can't remember. I think it was 16-6 and 16-5 on Inferno and something else. I'm blanking a little bit. It was this was a good few days ago at this point. Inferno and Nuke, yes. So, I mean, we know they're more than capable here on Nuke, obviously. But I was still expecting more from Complexity, and it's not over yet. We definitely could still see them, in theory, recover these final 2 rounds. And then if they were to get the pistol on the second half, I mean, very capable players themselves. If they get rolling, they can be difficult to stop. But here we go. I mean, the first of those 2 rounds is going to need to be done with what is a pretty limited investment. They have the op at least, but 2 FAMASs and an auto shotgun coming out as well. Not as many nades as you'd hope for. It's certainly going to be a tough one.
Poison's early aggression, it's not expected at all, but fading out's going to be hard. He has to find kills, and already coming in with a double as he swings even wider. Oh, I thought they lined up. I nearly had a heart attack, but he got a 3rd still. Oh, yeah, Shima almost died too. With that, a 2v3. Flame F falls. Nivera pushing forward, but auto shotgun. Hello and goodbye as Config takes 1, and Keo being so low didn't stand a chance. I love the style, just jumping around the corner with the auto.
Yeah, I mean, they're down quite heavily, so Config having a little bit of fun. Flying shotguns. 3 rounds, I mean, I said that was going to be a tough one for them to pick up, but now that they do manage to get that one, it gives them a really good investment for the final round and a half, where Team Heretics have no money at all. I mean, they're scraping together a force buy with mostly pistols. Kind of lucky to get 1 Mac-10 out, on towards lucky. But, overall, it's definitely the stronger, it's definitely the best opportunity we've seen, rather, for Complexity to try and chain together 2 rounds. But as I say that, Maka opens things up, but the Mac-10 gets the second. Those flashes are absolutely perfect. Poison returns 1 and does face back in to take down Maka, willing to absorb that small bit of nade damage to bring it back to the 3-on-3.
Dean, I hate to do this to you, mate. That was a CZ, not a Mac-10. It's just a Maka. It just rolls right?
Yeah, did I say Mac-10?
Yeah, you did.
I was talking about the Mac-10 on Lucky initially.
Yeah.
Sorry, that must have been why then. My bad.
It's Maka, Mac-10, of course. It happened. They've dealt with XMS, though. This is now a little bit dangerous. The Mac-10 eventually taken down as well, but Nevera straight through the smoke to finish that off. He didn't even, I thought he was going to wait for them to tap it, play the time, but no, he didn't give a damn. 12-3. You know what, Dean? I said this when I played against Dinko in the halftime interview. I'll say it now. I've seen worse T-sides. But for now, we're going to throw things over to a quick break. We haven't got time to break that one down. Not that there's much to break down, really, Dean. As there's going to be a small 3-minute break in between the halves. We'll catch you back here in just a little bit for half number 2. And the big question of who's going to take this map. Do we try to sell suspense? Who knows?
Chasing love in an empty bar. Pour a drink till I make it past. The midnight hour seems to come and go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Complexity taking on Heretics, map 1, half 2. We are here for Heretics CT side. They've already got 12 on the board. And Complexity look to take this one quickly, but a team kills come through.
Well, yeah, that's not ideal. At least they did find an opening alongside of it, but a bit of damage also being taken, and obviously Nevera already in position here to try and spot that cross is effective with 1 kill so far. Bit of help coming through, but it's Rush somehow surviving, having barely taken any damage, and actually dinked down Kiyoshima in the meantime. So this has given them a decent opportunity, and there we go, finishes off Nevera. Bomb planted at 3-on-3, and multiple players already tagged up heavily here on the side of Heretics. Pulling back one very crucial kill to give them that opportunity to start moving forward. I know Rush obviously is still stuck in behind the bomb site, and they do have a smoke. That's going to cut off Blame F and make things considerably more difficult for Rush on the bomb site. So Blame F actually kind of forced to push through and give him the help, but Rush is still effective. He's dropped it to the one-on-one. Keo already being low, has the kit, but the time is beginning to tick away. He needs this kill quickly, and with the reload having to come in, Rush just backs away. Oh, nearly got the knife there. That was relatively close, but Complexity, they managed to clutch it out. Rush comes in massive to give Complexity a lifeline that they very much need.
Oh, 12-4. I mean, yeah, pretty much. This is the lifeline Complexity needed, because if they lost the pistol and the force, I guess, it's over. It's GG'd already. But Team Heretics come through and they've not bought up, and this is even more intimidating almost. If they find themselves a couple of kills here, force the reinvestment from Complexity, we could be looking at a very nasty situation. They only lose one player at least. But here's where Heretics buy up, and where Complexity come out not smelling the roses. They've only got 2 AKs to play with. Now, BlameF might decide to upgrade, but I think they want to play this as a bonus round. The issue there is, if they lose this, which they're likely to do, technically, if you look at the buys, like, they're at a bit of a disadvantage. They've got a MAC 10.
For sure, but I think they'll go quick with this.
More than likely, but then it's 13-5. They lose the buy round, all of a sudden it's match point. So this is very dangerous for Complexity round. They really have to win, even despite a bonus.
Oh yeah, I mean, they can't afford to lose. I just mean, it's not that terrible of a buy, especially if they are moving quick like they do right now towards the A-bomb site. Unfortunately, having a player up on the rafters to deal with, as well as one man pushing through that main smoke, just splits the attention too much. We actually see the trades going in favor of Heretics, and despite having the bomb site control there, they decide that they need to give it up. BlameF is creeped into hell. Oh, Naveer's already spotting this, but actually doesn't get the kill. Okay, BlameF just about surviving. Now they're going to bring it down towards B, and I don't believe there's anyone in position as of yet. You see a quick rotation coming behind from ramp and one going down secret. So they will be ready quite soon. So getting this bomb could be a small issue. Thankfully, though, that smoke helps out, and Obo actually expecting that flank.
Do they know where Lucky is, though? This could be some lucky positioning. But Complexity down below, they're 2-man stacked in that corner. I don't think you'd be a madman to expect this. He knows they haven't gone to ramp. Double door is not open. The single doors are either. But really, he should just check this for one player at most. If he had a nade, maybe it'd work out well. Shot from below, there you go. Immediately, they both swing. That was really nice from Complexity. Bit of a gamble. You know, maybe he mollies it, maybe he nades it. But luckily, he didn't even have those.
Yeah, without the utility there, as you said, was really nothing that he can do, because even if he did check, I probably wouldn't expect the second player, and if they were both peeking at the same time, it'd be unlikely he could get both kills. So it was a tough spot to be in. A 6th round for Complexity, and they are beginning to pull this back. I mean, they bring it up to about 9 or so, and that's when I really start believing that they can make it happen. For now, though, Heretics just going to be taking the half investment, looking to try and keep the damage towards the economy, at least of Complexity, and not let them really build up too much money so that they could start running away with this half. XMS, though, getting really aggressive. Okay, actually finds one. Not quite able to adjust his aim to get the second. Lucky has a few chances on outside and will eventually capitalize on it. So already 2 frags being found. 3-on-3. The Heretics certainly have an opportunity to still fight for. Oh, the shoulder just about being spotted. Keo just lined up the crosshair for the pre-fire, though. Absolutely perfect. Goodbye to Obo. Poison and BlameF left to try and actually save this round now. This is falling apart. They cannot afford to lose this one.
Not at all. I mean, the previous was in question, but this is one that they absolutely should be behind in. Good trades coming through from Navera. It's all down to Poison. He's heard. They know he's down to the B bomb site. Navera quickly coming behind him. He doesn't want to be cut off by himself, but as the bomb is stuck. No, he's on site. Door's open, but hold on. He's creeping close to ramp. He's been spotted now. Ishima's gonna... I mean, he has to be on the right side here, right? Oh, no! He's not got the angle, and the spray is good for Poison. 3 kills to close that out. What a clutch. It shouldn't have ended up in that position, but he's done so well to pull it all the way back.
Yeah, I mean, a great recovery, to be fair, but a much closer round than Complexity would have been hoping for. If they want to make this comeback a reality, they needed to build up some money early on. Otherwise, they're still in this spot where if they lose one round, they really don't have the economy for a full buy, unless they get a bomb plant, because they do have some money left over, but it's not ideal, and this is, of course, the strongest buy we've seen so far from Heretics. So this is where we really get to see what they're actually capable of now on the CT side. Looking like a... it could have been a quick approach. They did nade off the door, as well as A lot of presence being shown towards outside in the beginning, but not really going to be following up on really anything apart from Blame F crossing the secret.
Blame F's just lurking around at the moment, looking to make a play down in secret. But someone gives him an angle on outside, but Mac is not. He's bailing back, playing in towards heaven and hell. And at this point, they've conceded control of outside, knowing the complexity could potentially have made it down. Won't be caught off guard by Blame, or at least you would not expect him to be. 50 seconds left, and they're looking to blitz out of A. Ovo gets blinded and falls back. And instead, they're actually going through ramp. He was supposed to be faking. Molly does so much damage. Poison and Rush, very, very low, but Maka doesn't think they'll push through it. Loses his life because of it.
They're just going to split A. Oh, if Obo had gotten that kill especially, it would have been perfect for them. Instead, now they have to deal with Keo. He's able to get himself a double kill before eventually going down. And with XMS still on this bomb site, as well as, of course, Config to hold down, it's going to be a very difficult time. Or they're Lucky, my bad. It was actually Config who got that kill on Lucky. Blame F also finding one, does bring it into the one-on-one. Not exactly where that last player is, and we can see Navera has just creeped out of vent and is now wrapping around towards the bomb site and will be able to connect the damage that's needed. Blame F, he needed the quick headshot there to be able to win that one out, and unfortunately it doesn't happen. So Heretics, they finally get around on the board here on the CT side. And as I said, without that bomb going down, the economy is quite shaky for Complexity. They'll pull together to buy, but it's not perfect. And if they lose this one in the next round, they definitely won't have enough to buy. And at that point, you have to really make the decision between just taking the eco and trying to play for potentially an overtime, or else force buying up.
The thing there in that round was Obo, who pushed into the hut. When he got blinded and fell back, Maka didn't think that the other players were outside ramp, so he thought those were the players from hut on their way. Obo couldn't make it through the molly; he wouldn't be there in time, but the others who were ahead of him absolutely could. Got them the opening duel with that little bit of fake info, but the problem is obviously wasn't able to follow up afterwards. The round win, 13-7, is a good spot for Heretics. There's no doubt about it. With Maka lit up low, they're going to make the most of his low HP by sending him up above on ramp. He can hold that by himself with the FAMAS. Won't be ramp that's being threatened this time. Smoke's on outside. So Lucky that he's all by himself, and with a smoke down, going to play on top of it and actually catch Blame off. That's a kill, 100%.
Perfect. He also gets so much info spotting that it was only the one player who's moved forward so far. And at this point, the step's definitely being heard towards ramp. It's the boost that's going to be an issue. Maka is low health, so he's only able to get the one. But with Navera also doing the same, they do manage to keep the advantage. They've traded it out successfully, and Lucky has had time to position himself down on B, where he will be able to find one already. It's all onto Config. Nicely placed Molotov will force that player in dark out. So Lucky does fall. Spotted that player towards window and has now heard the steps and vents as well, I believe. Surprisingly opening it, but presuming they will stick together, which is the case. And so far only tapping that bomb, hoping that he'd be able to force the fight and maybe bring it to the 1v1 before planting. And with the door that was opened, yeah, that is perfect. They consider now that he maybe could have actually backed through, so they have to split up to watch for it. And that is the case now. Config has begun to move back to vents, but XMS was ready for it.
14-7. It's looking like Heretics are on the home stretch, Dean. Complexity have only got Glocks to play with, and not many people lose to them. This should be a 15th guaranteed. There's always the odd chance. A Tech 9 picked up for Config. We've seen him do some damage with it. But what's worrying for me here is that Complexity have got Poison. Having maybe 4 rounds where he had insane performances. Look, that's what was missing. That's what was missing every single time from the Complexity defense. Oh my god. That's
well, that was destruction. Yeah, Poison's not getting that bomb plant either. It almost looked like the nade was going to follow him down vents and finish him off. But yeah, as you said, the Molotov just being the important thing at ensuring that he can't get down there healthy. And at that point, can't really afford to cross in case there's already someone holding it from ramp. So a nice and clean round.
Why was Lucky using the USP though? Was he out of ammo on his FAMAS?
Perhaps maybe he had shot it all towards the door, potentially, and heard the steps coming over silo, so didn't think he had time to reload.
Sure, yeah, possible.
I wasn't on him until he actually started picking up the kills, so not 100% sure. But yeah, I mean, 15-7 Heretics, they have map point and they have 8 of them. So plenty of opportunities for them to close this one out, pick up their own map choice and head onto Mirage, feeling good. As again, a similar play coming through from the D side. This time, it's not going to be just BlameF, though, looking for that outside control. He has another couple players following up, has config up on the silo as well, or rather had config up on the silo, because Maka doesn't care. He just faces that and takes the frag.
Complexity working their secret control. We haven't seen them do so too successfully so far. BlameF's managed to get down here a couple of rounds, but Heretics know this all too well. They dropped their mollies, they left control. They know Complexity can be down here. The element of surprise not quite with them, especially not as the door opens, but it is played out as a fate. The rest of the team looking to move in towards the A site. Afterwards, smoking up close and using this to potentially get over to heaven. Yes, indeed. The problem for them is you expect Maka to be here, tucked away in the spawn. Maybe you swing out and you clear out the forklift. But this wall, I mean, I've never seen someone hold this position. And yeah, look, completely caught off guard. There's no way you could predict it. And so a 5 versus 3 comes through. Complexity of BlameF moving forward. He's going to throw a nade, and Maka will hear that.
And they've unfortunately also lost the lobby control, but it is that split in through heaven that isn't initially stopped by Maka. Obo has the chance to get 1 kill before going down. The bomb being dropped and eventually recovered by BlameF now as they go onto the bomb set. But as I said, Kiyoshima had that lobby control. He pushed through ramp, gets the first kill and the second. BlameF decided to stick the bomb plant, but Kiyoshima didn't give it any room for it. The defuse obviously coming in 16-7